Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very happy because I finally reached 300 subscribers, and I guess to celebrate that occasion, we are going to be doing a collection update video. These are all the machines that I've collected, so why not do a collection update video? So, starting with this Hamilton Beach hand vac. This is by far the oldest machine in my collection. I got this from eBay. Someone bought it for me. My grandparents bought this for me. And I've had it for probably about 6 months now. It's a pretty fascinating little machine. It's in great condition. The bag, you can see, is in perfect condition. And there's not much wrong with it at all. The only thing is, this is really stiff, so that the part that holds onto the bag in order to empty is very stiff, so I obviously don't want to use this much at all because it's a very collectible machine, but every once in a while I'll occasionally vacuum the couch with it, and it's a very cool little machine. Next up, this Dirt Devil Touch-Up, which again, my grandparents got it for me. And it's pretty much in mint condition, except the only thing that's wrong with it is this handle is a little bit loose, and I know that because this one is more firm. This one feels like something snapped inside of it. But other than that, it's good. The pedals on the touch-up, the touch-up on this one works great. This one works great too. This one's in a little bit better condition. It works perfectly, and again, this is one of those collectible machines that I don't like to use too much, but it is a part of my collection, and I probably haven't used it in about a month. Next up, my Dirt Devil roommate. This was also gifted to me. This one has a little bit of a motor issue where it's a little bit louder than they usually are, likely due to the amount of dust that seeped through this filter and into the motor. You can obviously tell this is a higher end model with the filter, and this one's also 4 amps, this one's 2.5 amps. But other than that, and it had some play in the brushless, but I fixed that. It works just fine. And yeah, so there's that machine. Right behind the touch-up is the Dirt Devil Extra Light. This is one that I picked up from a Goodwill, and it needed a new brush roller and a new filter, and I gave it a new set of attachments, and it works perfectly. This is a machine that I don't like to use too much because of the terrible filtration that these cheap machines have, but it is a part of my collection, and I am happy to have it. And like I said, there's something really wrong with it, so that's cool. Right next to it is the Dirt Devil Power Express. This is a vacuum that I also picked up from a Goodwill. I picked this up because my parents used to have, when I was little, a Dirt Devil Easy Light, which is very similar to this, but theirs was green. And the filter setup was a little bit different, but it was basically the same thing as this machine. And again, this is a vacuum where I picked it up from Goodwill, and it wasn't used all that much. All it needs is a belt, and I still haven't gotten a belt for it, but it still works just fine. So, just clean out the filters, and it's good to go. Right here is my Bissell Big Green commercial. This is my one of the best deep cleaners in my collection, and I'm very happy to have it. And this is the machine that came with the HEPA bags out of the box, which is pretty impressive. So brand new. Obviously didn't need anything because it was brand new. Unfortunately, I'm trying to track down bags for this because I'm starting to run low on bags. And the HEPA bags are very, very expensive. So, if anyone knows any HEPA bags that will work in this, please let me know, because the other bags that are designed to go with this are just really expensive, and I don't think it's worth it. But it's a great machine with its 50-foot long power cord. Here is my Bissell Big Green commercial. It has the same name, but this is model BGU 8000, I think. This one is BG 101H, H meaning that it takes the HEPA bags, and this one, which you can actually run HEPA bags in here. Just get the CC bag dock that you would originally get for your Oric, attach that on, and boom, you got HEPA filtration. This machine works perfectly, there's nothing wrong with it, and you can see it's in mint condition because I haven't been using it too much right now at the moment. It's just been shoved at the back of my closet, but it's a very nice machine to have, and it's very similar to an Oric. Right behind it is my Hoover wind tunnel. This was also a Goodwill find. This is also a machine that I'm going to need to get bags for because there's no bags in it at the moment. I'm completely out of bags. So because of that, I haven't been using it at all lately, but it's a pretty nice machine. This is one that I still have to get the extension wands for because it's missing them. But other than that, it works great. So, can't complain too much about it. It's very nice. The only thing I'm not a fan of is this hose. It's very short and you can't get much done with it, which is why I prefer the Supreme model. So when I got it, it was missing the high adjustment wheels. It needed a new brush roller because the original one was very worn, and it was missing these side little rubber bristles that go on each side. So I sourced those parts for it, and it works great. Right next to it is my Bissell Power Force Helix Turbo. This is a Goodwill find, and this is the one where I had to get a turbo brush for it and a new HEPA filter. And then I also replaced the inner circular filter. And after replacing those, this machine works great. The motor in it sounds just fine. This is the 10 amp model. And the brush roll in it has a little bit of bearing noise when it winds down, but overall it's just fine. So, not too worried about that. Right over here is my latest addition to the collection. That is the Oric Elevation Control. This machine works perfectly. There's nothing wrong with it. The only thing, it was a little bit dirty and it needed a new belt. But other than that, it works perfectly. The headlights are very bright on it and everything is really nice. And of course, this takes the HEPA bags, as you can see. So that's very nice. Right beside it is the Oric XL Commercial. This is one that I've had for quite a while at this point. I've had it before any of these machines. This is a machine that I got brand new, so obviously nothing wrong with it. I did replace the brush roller because the original one was that cheap plastic roller, so I replaced it with the wooden one that would have came with this machine, and I think I replaced the belt too at one point, but it works great. This is the one that I use the most, and it gets the job done just fine. Right next to it is my Eureka the Boss Smart Vac. This is also a Goodwill find. This is one where it needs a new set of attachments. It's missing both filters, the HEPA filter and the filter that would have gone inside here. And obviously it needs some bags. So I ordered that whole set except for the attachments. Basically, it includes a new belt, a new set of filters, and some bags. It's taking a very long time to arrive, so obviously there's a delay. But it also had a clutch issue where the brush roller would not shut off when you put it upright, but after fixing that as best as I could, the brush roller shuts off when you put it upright, so that's good, and the machine works perfectly. But obviously I can't really use it until I get the bags for it. Next up, my favorite vacuum in the collection. This is by far my favorite. That is my Hoover Concept 1. This was also a Goodwill find. The only thing that was wrong with it, not really wrong with it, but the headlights were burned out, so I replaced those. I gave it some fresh belts, because this is the self-propelled model, so it takes 2 belts. Popped in a HEPA bag, Type A Hoover HEPA bag, and then I also popped in a new brush roller, and the machine works perfectly. So nothing to complain about, nothing's broken on it, it works perfectly, so that's nice. And this one that we've had for the longest, this is a machine that you guys have not seen in my collection, this is the Bissell Featherweight. The sticker fell off of it, but this is one that my mom loves to use. I don't use it because of the terrible filtration that this machine has. I'd rather just use an Oreck, even though it's not going to be the best suited for hard floors. It gets the job done. It has headlights and it filters so much better. So this machine, I can also tell, is having a little bit of motor issues. Sounds a little weird on wind down, so obviously dust getting into the motor, and yeah, other than that it works just fine. So why not run all of these machines in my collection so that you guys see how they run? So we're going to start with this Hamilton Beach hand vac. This machine runs very smoothly. Next up is my Dirt Devil Touch-Up. The Dirt Devil Roommate. You can see this one runs a little bit rough, but it does work, so that's good, and it's a very rare vacuum, so I'm not complaining, and I'm happy to have it. Next up, my Bissell Big Green Commercial. This is also one where I do need to replace the belt on it, but other than that, it runs just fine. Next up, the Bissell BGU 8000. Here's how it runs. The Oreck Elevate Control. Runs just fine. The Oreck XL Commercial. This Hoover, but it does not have any bags in it, so I'm just going to run it like this. Works just fine. Bissell Power Force Helix Turbo. The Dirt Devil Power Express. The Dirt Devil Extra Light Bagless, which, had forewarning, this is the loudest vacuum in my collection. This one also needs a belt. The Hoover Concept 1. And the Eureka the Boss Smart Vac. Now again, this one does not have any bags in it, so I'm not actually going to run it on the carpet. In fact, I have it on the hose mode. So you can see, sounds just fine. And lastly, this little Bissell Featherweight. One more thing I forgot to mention is all these machines are mine except for this Bissell Featherweight. So all these machines are mine except for this little Bissell Featherweight. So thanks for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this collection update video. I don't know when I'm going to do the next collection update video. Maybe when I reach 500, 600, or even 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully. So thanks for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed it, and bye.